And so we are live. So welcome to Thursday live Q&A. And I got a few questions and I would like to answer those live. If you're watching me now and you have a question, please type in. I'll be happy to answer it. So the first question I got, it was someone is asking me, what should they do if their boyfriend thinks that they are very kind of clingy and just don't let that boyfriend breathe, and she's feeling anxious that he's just gonna just abandon her. Obviously, a fear of abandonment, it's very common in adult children of alcoholic or addicts. Since we've been emotionally or even physically abandoned by someone who's very important in your life, you're always going to have that childhood trauma, and you like automatically will be thinking, oh my gosh, I think they are going to abandon me. So what I would recommend, number one, is to tell your significant other, tell them that you are coming from a place where you experience childhood trauma and you're working on it, but you're asking them to help you and support you in that. Now, if there's a person that's going to say, what? I'm not going to deal with your traumas and dramas. I don't need this in my life. Then, you know, honey, close the door on that person. Because meaning you are in some very toxic relationship and somebody doesn't want to even to support you. And if they tell you, oh, you just cry all day because that's all you want to do, and this is you like that, and you go fix yourself, and then I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Close that door on that person. And the sooner, the better. Okay, so number two. So that person says, yes, I'll be happy to be there with you. Just tell me what I need to do. That's very good. Because then you can tell them that you might be sending them a random message and saying, hey, how are you doing? Or when are you coming back home? Or you just ask them to kind of check in with you more often. So you kind of give that security of, oh yeah, they're there. I can reach them anytime I want. Nobody's abandoning me. So then over time, you kind of will build this into, oh, I'm okay. I'm safe. I can kind of let this thing go and more relax. And then number three, I would like you to start a list of things that happen to you during the day. Let's say it's late at night and you know that someone needs to show up at 6 o'clock for dinner, but they're still not in. And then you're calling them and you kind of don't get any answer. And of course you freak out. This is where the fear of abandonment comes in. And you think, oh my God, they left me, they died, or whatever, something happened. Write it down and then wait, in your diary and somewhere in a piece of paper that you can come back to and read it later. And then just wait to see what happens. I probably guarantee you 99% of times the person is going to be just late because something happened to it, okay? Maybe they had a long conversation with their mother on the road and they couldn't pick up the phone. Maybe they were in the meeting. Maybe they had to finish something at work. Maybe there was traffic and the battery died. There could be, 40 ways to answer any question. So then when you find out what happened, then you will write it down and say, that's the date. This is what happened. I was afraid that they not coming back, and they came back because the battery died and they couldn't call me back and all of this. You're going to have those experiences. That's going to happen. That comes naturally from the fear of abandonment. So you're going to collect this. Please remember to put this on your list. And so then next time, when they don't answer, or you have this anxiety that, oh my gosh, I said something wrong and I think I hurt their feelings and they're not coming back again, read that list. And that list should convince your brain to take kind of things with a grain of salt and remind you that just because this is happening now, it doesn't mean that will end badly, because it didn't go badly in the previous times. And that time, and that time, and that time, and that time. So that will help you to calm down. I hope that helped. Now, so there is a second question. And this, the question is, how can I cope with this in situation when some particular music revokes anxiety? Because my dad, who was a drug addict, was listening to that particular group. So here we have an adult who has this very deep childhood wound that obviously keeps on being revoked every time whether some kind of like a trigger happens. In this particular case, is specific music. That gives you a bad feeling, anxiety, because you immediately associate this on being unsaved, abused, hurt, and so forth. So what is that you do with a situation like that is, number one, do not run away from it. Do not switch another channel and say, no, I don't want to see this, I'm going to run away. You will never heal. You have to heal that. And the way you do it, and that's a very courageous step, is number one thing, you have to relax your body. Because all the fears and anxieties, we just kind of clinch to that, right? Most of the time we even like forget to breathe, just like breathing and waiting for this to pass. So number one, you have to continuously breathe in and out deeply. Just breathe in and out. Breathe in, out. And then just be in that feeling. Stay in that emotion. It's painful, but the longer you will stay with that, the longer you will split away from you. I know it sounds kind of funny, but the longer you stay with that, the more you're allowing that, the meaning less you're resisting that, because something that you resist persists. So when you're just staying with that emotion and you're just breathing in and out, that's all you're doing. You're listening to the song per se, and it reminds you of a childhood experience when you've been beaten, been abused. Just breathe in and out. At the same time, it helps a lot, and I'm going to tell you a little stress management tool that you should implement in any anxiety situation. At the same time, you will just touch your body physically. Just massage your neck or your hands. Let's say you're in a public place and you don't feel like, you don't want to look weird. You just touch your hands, and that physical touch already kind of sends your brain a signal to relax. And just breathe in and breathe out. And you will feel that you will calm yourself. You will be calming. It's very good if you, let's say, will find time and you're in the place that you can just write it down. So just take a pen and just write it down. You can type on the computer, but it says, it works better if your brain likes better if you just write it down. And you just write it down. Why is this particular music upsets you? What brings you, what emotions, what happened? And just keep on writing and writing and writing until to the point that you feel that you kind of write that feeling, that bad emotion out. And then, when you feel all you complete, and you may not feel complete, for that moment, you say, I did my best I could, and then you move on with your day. So the next time, let's say the same song comes along, the same group starts playing, then you might feel less of it. If you still feel like it triggers you and still brings you to that painful place, then again, you just need to breathe in, breathe out, just stay in that feeling. And you see, through all of this practice, you're going to learn how to handle that feeling, and it's not going to be so painful anymore. And that's the way you will heal it. So over the time, that is going to be a day when that music is not going to be anymore triggering you. So that's a long process that takes courage, but that's only one way to do it, because I'm sure you don't want to listen to the same song for the rest of your life and always being afraid, because that's just knowing that there's a song that can trigger you anytime. That's already like making me anxious, right? So that's that. Now, whatever time left, I want to share how to create your toolbox. And for stress management toolbox that you can use in any situation. Let's say you're going for the interview, or you have a talking with somebody and you talk on the phone and somebody triggers you. Any anxiety that pretty much that raises your heartbeat and you think, oh my God, I am stressing out, I don't know what to do. So number one thing, you have to repeat something. Can be a physical repetition, like you're brushing your hair, or you're just doing something when your hands or something, or you have words that you can repeat. You could be something inspirational. You could be like an affirmation. I like to say, I am calm, collected, confident, and in control. I'm calm and I'm collected, I'm in control. And something you just can't keep on repeating that. One thing about this is that when you are repeating some words over and over that are good, that are positive, it does not allow you to have negative thoughts and those fearful thoughts. So you're kind of like moving them away, and you're keeping the front saying this is my boundary and I'm gonna let this happen. You also maybe have like a favorite Bible verse or some inspirational quotes or something like that. So the key is to concentrate on that positive thoughts, because as soon you start thinking something negative, like an anxious thought of, oh my gosh, something's bad gonna happen, the more you put the energy into that, the more negative thoughts will kind of take you down the road. And then it's like a train, like as soon as it starts moving, it's very difficult to stop it. So as soon as you start feeling a negative emotion or fear or anxiety or anything like that, start telling your affirmations. Say something positive to yourself. Now, the second step that you need to do, that I already mentioned in the answer before, you have to involve your physical body. The touch is an amazing thing. Probably you notice when little kids, when they get upset or, they always run for the hug, right? It's kind of naturally to us that the brain reacts and calms down with the physical touch. So you can touch your body, just hand or massage your neck or play your fingers, especially if you're in a public place and nobody will know that you just massaging your fingers and you calming yourself down. You could be sitting in the office in the big meeting, and let's say before you have to speak, you just have your hands under the table and nobody will know what you're doing there, because you're calming yourself down. So you involve this physical aspect that just keeps you more in control and in balance. Then, I know everybody says the same thing, then you breathe in, breathe out, and then make a deep breathing in and out. And you don't have to, if you're public place, you don't have to do a lot of visible things like breathing out with voice or something. Although I recommend one way how you can calm down, as if you go to the restroom or somewhere that you can be by yourself, you're just breathing in and then letting go with the sound. It sounds like that. So what you do, you activate the vagus nerve that is very, very big in our body. And when you do that with the voice, the vibration, it kind of calms you down. So if you can incorporate that, and then breathe in deeply in, and breathe out deeply, long out. Now, there are some people who say, well, you need to breathe in, count to 5, then you need to hold to 7, then you breathe out and 4. I think it all depends how big are your lungs and how fast you can count, okay? So you need to do something that's comfortable for you and find your own rhythm. So here you go. Something happens to you, you keeping negative thoughts away by saying something positive, telling affirmations, reading something positive. Then 2, you incorporate touching of your body and just massaging yourself, for whatever it takes. And at the same time, breathing in and out. So here are your tools. And I will do the same thing next Thursday. So you're welcome to submit your questions. You're welcome to send me messages directly, so nobody sees what you're typing and who are you and all of that privacy kind of thing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for those who came live, and see you next week.